Hey everybody, how's it going? I can't just start and not start shifting in my chair. That's not possible. I just immediately shift in my chair. How's it going? God damn it, my knee just dislocated. That's fine. Yeah, so today's gonna be the finale of DDLC. I'm not entirely sure how much we have left. It's not very much, I don't think, but we shall see. We left off in an empty void, talking to Monica, so that was really fun. We'll see if the void breaks my fucking computer again, because it's definitely very hard on the computer. Also, I can't remember who drew this, but this shirt's from a community Jackbox night that we did with the True Salt King. So it says anxiety, and someone drew a ghost, and it's got my name on it, and I don't know why. I don't know how that happened, but I was like, oh, it's a shirt that says anxiety and has my name on it. It has my name on it. Gotta buy the anxiety shirt with my fucking name on it. So it was, when this showed up in game, I absolutely lost my mind. It was so funny. So now I have two shirts from TKO. Both of them have little drawings of ghosts on them. The other one has like a little drawing I did of Napstabluken, and at the bottom it says "Be gay, do crime." I'll probably wear that shirt on Saturday. So yeah, just as an announcement, if people here don't know, Salt King is doing a charity 24-hour live stream starting noon on Saturday. Noon Eastern time? Toronto time. Eastern time at 12 noon. And then we'll go to 12 noon the next day. And during that stream, there's a bunch of prizes and raffle stuff. Oh my god, I gotta stop kicking my desk. And you're supporting a local like LGBTQ indigenous charity, I think. I know it's like an indigenous charity. I just can't remember the name offhand. I can look that up actually. Why don't I do that? Why don't I look up what charity it is? But the reason I bring it up is A, it's a wonderful, wonderful cause. And B, I am going to be in it. Let me see. Yeah, the Toronto Indigenous Harm Reduction. That's the charity it's gonna be supporting on Saturday. And when you're there, you can watch me play Phasmo at I think like 8 or 9 p.m. I think. It's a little bit loose. I'll definitely post it on there, but I'm gonna be live on his channel. I won't be streaming at the same time. I don't think my computer can fucking handle that. But I'll have face cam on, I think. I don't know how much fucking Salt's gonna be doing as far as like his layout and stuff, if he's gonna have people's faces from Discord or whatever, or if it's just gonna be him in the game. But we're gonna be playing Phasmophobia, and we're gonna scare the crap out of Salt, and that's gonna be really fun, because he does not like horror games. It's gonna be me, I believe Mara, and then I think DZPG is gonna be playing with us too. And it's really exciting, and I've never played with DZ before, and it's gonna be exciting. I think he normally streams times when I'm still asleep, so it'll be fun to chat and hang out with him. And then also during the stream, one of the many, many prizes that are available is the first ever signed print of one of my photos. So yeah, you can win a print of a photo of mine that is signed. It's not a specific photo, you get to like pick which one you want. So, and you can pick anything that's like not got, like that's like relatively safe for work that I've posted publicly. And it has to be ones that I have like the distribution rights for. So like ones where like my partner's the photographer, or like photo sets that I've like paid for. Because there are some shoots I've done with like ECS Darkroom like a while ago that I can't do prints. I could maybe reach out and ask him, but I don't know if I could do prints for that because those were trade shoots, so I don't have exclusive rights to those. But most of the set, like all the sets my partner's taken, I can do whatever the fuck I want with them because my partner and I are common law spouses, so everything is kind of co-owned. So also they would not care. But yeah, so you can pick any of the publicly printed photos. You'll get like a nice high quality print. I think I'm doing like an 8x11, like kind of, it's not going to be like that size poster. That poster's unnecessarily large, but I'm going to do like a fairly reasonable like print size on like high quality paper, and I'm going to sign it, and you'll be the only person on earth who has signed anything from me because I've never done like signed stuff before. I think I have like an Instax or Polaroid or whatever from it, like behind the scenes of a shoot I did like forever ago that I've also signed, but I've never given it to anybody. It's on my fridge, I think, or it's in a bucket or something somewhere. But yeah, so that'll be super exciting, super duper fun, and yeah, that's Saturday, and I will be in the chat, hanging out for as much of that as I can handle, because I do have my other big news is I have my second dose of my COVID vaccine on Friday evening at like 5:30-ish, so we will also see how functional I am on Saturday. So I may miss the beginning of the stream, or I may have to like tap out at random points, and like obviously I can't. There's no way I'm gonna be awake at like 4, 5, 6 in the morning because I don't do mornings. That's not gonna be a thing, but I will be there for as much of it as I can. I was up late last night. I don't know why. I ended up being awake until like 2 in the morning, and it was like 2:15, and I look at my phone, I'm like, oh, this is unnecessarily late, but I guess Loki's coming on soon, so I'll just stay up and then watch Loki. So I watched Loki last night and then went to bed, and me going to bed at like 4:30, 5 a.m. was not something I really want to repeat as a 30-year-old old ass person. I definitely can't do all-nighters like I used to. I used to be able to, like, I could, like, legitimately, my normal sleep cycle was, like, getting up at, like, or no, not getting up, going to bed at 6 or 7 a.m. when the sun was rising. That's how I used to do things. And that's a mood, yeah. Being old makes staying up late for whatever your cycle is. Like, I can stay up until, like, 2, 3 a.m. no problem, because I normally go to bed at, like, 1, 2 a.m. So, like, even like 4 is not the biggest push unless I have had to get up early at some point. But to do 24 hours, I can't. I don't think I can fucking do that. So kudos to Salt for staying up for that long, because I could never. I definitely couldn't stream for 24 hours. Like a 12-hour stream would probably be pushing the limits, and that's not even including like my voice loss and stuff that would happen, because God, talking for 2 straight hours or 3 hours in some of these DDLC streams, I haven't been able to talk very well afterwards. Also, speaking about losing my voice, so for anyone who was here for the stream on Monday, when I had all the hot sauce, good news about that is my throat was sore for a little bit, for like an hour or 2, and I was totally fine. I had a little bit of digestive stuff on Tuesday, like my digestive system was a little bit cranky, but also I don't know if that was just because it's around the time of the month when my digestive system gets a little bit cranky anyway, so I have no idea. But it definitely wasn't the like stereotypical like Flamin' Hot Cheetos situation. Like, nothing like that happened. I was completely fine. So apparently I have a weird immunity to both poison ivy and capsaicin. So, you know, walking is hard, but apparently I can eat and touch things people shouldn't, so that's nice. That's good, yeah. I'm really happy with, why am I just holding this like it's a fucking microphone? It's because I'm thirsty, but I'm using this one because my other one's in the wash, but it's got my name on it backwards to you, but it's got my name on it. Everything today has got my name on it. Like, it's fun times. But yeah, so should probably get into the game soonish. I have no idea. Okay, so opening the game, I have still, everything is set up for when I was playing Talos Principle last. So I don't know how to, we'll see if I can get everything to like work, but it might not. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And okay, so I can't touch anything in the game because as soon as you open it, things are happening. Because again, like last time we were playing DDLC when we didn't save or anything. Monica just says, it's fine, I'm not going anywhere, you don't have to save. So you don't save anymore, so that's fun. Monica's great. She's great. She saves your game in her mind. She's always there for you. You never have to worry about her abandoning you or anything. She's a great friend. She definitely wouldn't delete you or anything like that. Okay, so let's open Steam. Monica's always thinking of you. Exactly, she's a good listener. She's always listening to you. It's fantastic. I think, what was that tweet I saw? It was like a hero would sacrifice you to save the world and a villain would sacrifice the world to save you. And I think that's not entirely untrue. Okay, so DDLC, play the game. I gotta pause my music because I feel like DDLC and fucking dance music is gonna be too much all at once. Okay, now let me see if I can get this to work. Because it was not working before I started streaming, but I'm sure I can get it to work. I'm sure at some point I can get this to work. It's just, for whatever reason, it's not showing up as like an option for my window capture. But I can always do something stupid. Auto. Capture specific window. There you go. I just had to do game capture and it fixed it. Kinda? Let's see if this works. What is it doing? It's very angry is what I can tell you. Yeah, it's just being weird and glitchy, so we will see. It sounds like Monica. Yeah, Monica's being an entire asshole is what's happening. Okay. We will get this eventually. Come on. Come on. At some point you'll figure this out. It's just me clicking 8 million options. You know, because OBS can't just be like easy. It has to be a whole problem. Okay. It's just being a whole asshole. Okay, let me close DDLC and then reopen it. And we'll see if it should. OBS worked correctly the first time? Never. Exactly. It couldn't possibly. It couldn't possibly just fucking work. Also, what is a Twitch stream without tech problems, honestly? Okay. Are you gonna... Are you gonna at any point work? Okay, let me... It's been such an asshole. It's being such a dick. Well, here we are. Whatever. I found a way to make it work. It's stupid, but it works. And if it works, whatever. It's through the same thing I usually use to capture text boxes, but whatever. We'll just switch everything around. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We'll make that go away. Make that go away. That can actually just straight up be deleted. If it works, it works. Yeah, we're getting there. I just have to add a whole nother extra thingy. Cause now when I want to show you other shit, it's being a whole dickhead. Okay. There we go. There we go. I have figured it out. No, I did not. I fucked it up. It's fine. I promise you I know what I'm doing, and I'm a professional streamer, and I absolutely know how all this stuff works. That is for sure. For sure, I know what I'm doing. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. You can stay here. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Okay. Just me naming all of these windows random bullshit because they're driving me insane. I'm convinced if you just name a window like each shit, it'll cooperate better. That's my opinion anyway. I'm gonna make this smaller. I mean, you can go there. Okay. Okay, that should be good. I think we've got it all fixed. Huzzah! Here we are. I made it work. I've made it work. We're solid, we're good, everything's fine. So this is how the game starts when you open it. I haven't touched anything in the game. It just starts with Monica like looking at you, because that's fun and not horrifying in any possible way. Let me resize the fucking game window. Let me know if this breaks anything. Is that fine? No, it resized it in here for no reason, because that's handy. I love that. You gotta love it, like, fucking changing the dimensions of everything just because I would like to be able to see chat at the same time. This is, okay, this is also an intense problem with, Monica, I would very much appreciate it if you just stopped talking for a hot second. She just had an awful dream. Okay, great. I'm trying to make your window a size that fucking works. Okay, that's close enough. Come on. I gotta unlock that. It's fine. I promise you I'm fixing everything. We're good. It's fine. It'll all be fine. We're all good. We're all good. I know what I'm doing. This is all fine. We're great. Are there any black bars? There's black bars. Great, cool. I will just... There. Is that better? Still a black bar at the top. Stop it. There. Good. Excellent. Cool. And now this window's small enough that I can also see chat. We're doing great. I love it here. All right. I just had an awful dream. I was hoping these would stop now that it's just the two of us. I guess that was wishful thinking. Azura, I don't know if you would have any idea, but if you know what might be causing that, could you try and do something about it? Whenever it happens, it almost feels like I've been killed or something. Oh, that's upsetting. She feels like she's dying every time we close the game. Cool. I've only done that to her 3 times today. I'm trying to set up stream. That's cool. It's a really horrible feeling. If you could figure out what's causing that, I'd love you forever. Now, where was I? Fun. This is fine. You know, I really do think you literally saved my life by being here with me, Azura. I can't imagine having been able to keep myself mentally stable knowing that nothing here is real. I think I would have just deleted myself if you didn't show up. Sorry, I don't mean to sound dramatic or anything. Haha. But I'm sure you understand yourself after spending so much time in the club. I mean, if you were forced to abandon everything in your life and spend your eternity with a few game characters, you'd probably find some way of killing yourself, wouldn't you? Well, maybe you'd write some poetry to keep yourself sane for a while, but then you'd have no one to even read it. Let's be honest, the club members really don't count for something like that. I mean, a lot of people say that they only write for themselves, but I think it's hard to say it's just as fulfilling when you share with people. Even if it takes time to find the right people to share with. Like, remember how it was for Yuri? She didn't share her writing with anyone for a really long time. Before we knew it, she was absolutely delighted to make you a part of her hobbies too. We're programmed to desire social feedback. We are programmed to want social feedback, huh, Monica? I love how you phrase things. It's not ominous at all. But yeah, no, I guess if I did have to spend my whole life with a game character, that would be weird. That would be really weird. Just her talking about us being programmed is a fun time. Just a very fun time. I don't mean the club members, I mean human beings. That's why life can be so confusing for introverts. Being an introvert doesn't mean you shun social interactions and hate being around people. It means social interactions, especially in groups or unfamiliar places, use up a lot of energy. Like, a lot of introverts sit at home and feel lonely and restless. And then when they finally go out after a half hour, they just want to be home again. I think if more people could understand how it works, they would respect it a lot more. Oh my god, massive mood. Because I am definitely an introvert, and like, a lot of people, like, my boss doesn't think so, because I'm like pretty outgoing when I'm like at events. But like, I like people. Certain people. I like spending time with like my friends and stuff. Absolutely. And it's been really, really hard to be like stuck home alone. But my god, does it get exhausting pretty quickly. And I think being autistic doesn't help with that. Many introverts enjoy having people around. They love just having one or two close friends over and just leisurely hanging out. Even if you're not actively spending time together, it feels nice for them just to have you there. Oh my god, one of my favorite ways to hang out with people is just doing nothing together. Where you're just like in the same room, both like just doing your own shit. Or like, you know, you're just sitting at a park reading books or at the beach or whatever. And you're not actually like interacting with each other that much, other than to like, I don't know, maybe have like a little bit of a conversation here and there, but mostly just like be in the same space. That's like my favorite thing to do. I'm serious. If you just go to their house, bring your laptop and hang out there for a while, you can really make their day. As for me, I'd say I'm kind of in between, but I think I'm a little more extroverted. I feel like I'm always trying to do stuff after school and things like that. But for you, I can be anything you need me to be. Don't do that. Don't be like, oh, I'll just be what you want. That's not healthy. I understand people really well, so don't be afraid to share your unique needs with me. Nothing would make me happier than being the perfect girlfriend for you. She's a very needy girl. She's very needy. You gonna talk again? Monica. You just gotta sit and wait, and eventually she'll have a thought. I'm sure. Hey, did you know I'm vegetarian? I don't mean that like I'm bragging or anything. I just thought you'd enjoy a fun fact about me. I decided to start a couple years ago after learning more about Earth's climate. The carbon footprint of cultivating livestock is just unbelievable. Anyway, I decided it's not much of a personal sacrifice to just stop contributing to that whole mess. What, is that so strange of a reason? Well, I guess a lot of people are more concerned about it being inhumane and all that. I don't really care about as much about that part. It's weird. Like, we only care about killing the things that we personally relate to as a species. Most people are fine with killing bugs because they're icky. And of course, we all kill billions of microorganisms daily without even giving it a second thought. But suddenly, if they're just a little bit bigger, it's murder. I mean, what if plants feel some kind of pain too, and we just don't understand it? What if pulling leaves off a stem feels like someone ripping off your fingers one by one? I'm just saying, we're all a pretty biased species if you think about it. Anyway, if you ever feel like making a small contribution to the planet, it doesn't hurt to choose veggies once in a while. She says that, and I definitely encourage cutting out meat and like choosing more ethical sources and trying to eat local as much as you can, eating in season, that sort of thing. But I have health concerns. I can't eat vegetables. I know this because a couple weeks ago I had broccoli. I had like one of those TV dinners that has like little pieces of broccoli in the like fettuccine alfredo, and I had 3 of those over the course of like 2 weeks, and then was in some of the worst digestive pain I've had in like over a year. Like, legitimately, broccoli hurts my stomach more than the ghost pepper hot sauce does. Like, legitimately, I could probably chug a bottle of hot sauce and be fine, easier than like if I ate a salad. Like, if I had like a whole bag of popcorn, I would just be in agony. So, I can't be like vegetarian or vegan, but I do try and get like ethically sourced meat when I can. I try and buy, like, shop local as much as I can. And I think the biggest thing we can all do is, because individual contributions are never going to make as much of a difference as, like, collectively, is trying to advocate for better rules and regulations for farming industries, and trying to support smaller family farms instead of big factory farms, because the smaller farms tend to be have a much smaller footprint and that sort of stuff. Thank you so much. I appreciate the follow, Monica. You're such a good girl. It's nice to see you in here. Welcome to the Literature Club. Anyway, so yeah, like, definitely if you can be vegetarian and it seems like the best way for you to make a difference, absolutely, I support that. If we ever go out for food, I will try and find places with vegetarian options. Absolutely, I support everybody's right to choose, like, what they eat, and everyone's dietary restrictions and stuff. It's just some people can't, and it's important to, like, recognize that, you know, if you physically can't do that and be healthy, then there's no shame in eating what you have to, and there's always, like, options to try and make better choices within that. And then again, a lot of that's constrained by, like, location and money and class and all that shit. But anyway, like, you know, we all have more of a voice when it comes to, like, being, like, I don't know, I've read, a lot of people haven't, but I've read the abattoir rules for my province, for Ontario, and, like, if there were obvious places that I could find that could be improved, like, that's a thing you can advocate to the government about. Be like, we should treat the animals better, or make sure we use all of the animal and that sort of thing. And that's part of why, like, when I buy, I'd rather get ethically, like, environmentally friendly sourced leather than, like, vegan leather sometimes, because the plastic-based vegan leathers are worse for the environment than, like, an organic leather that'll last longer and I can repair and stuff. Because, like, my last pair of combat boots I bought, they lasted, like, 10 or so years before they finally disintegrated and I had to get a new pair. And that was, like, with wearing them every single day at, like, food service jobs where they got covered in crap. So even if we ever have dinner together and you just did it for me, that would be really romantic. Not happening, Monica. You know what I could do, though? You could have smoothies. I could probably, if I was dating someone who was, like, a vegetarian and wanted me to have vegetarian meals with them every once in a while, I'd do things like cheese, like grilled cheese and stuff. Because that I can do. I can do, like, vegetarian meals sometimes. It's just I need meat every once in a while. Thank you for the follow, Cade. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. But yeah, I've definitely gone to, like, restaurants that only serve vegan food, and that's an absolute dietary nightmare for me. And then I have friends who have, like, nut allergies who can't step foot in any vegan restaurant ever because they all use just constant allergens. You don't like Monica? Yeah, she, I don't know. I can see from her perspective where, like, she's not doing anything wrong because she doesn't think Yuri and Sayuri and them are real. But, because, I mean, exploring things safely in fiction, but also she's, like, wasn't the nicest about it. And she's being definitely a little bit creepy and obsessive about us as a player. Do you ever feel like you waste too much time on the internet? Yes, I also have watched Bo Burnham's Inside recently. Social media can practically be like a prison. It's like, whenever you have a few seconds of spare time, you want to check your favorite websites. And before you know it, hours have gone by and you've gotten nothing out of it. Anyway, it's really easy to blame yourself for being lazy, but it's not really even your fault. Addiction isn't usually something you can just make disappear with your own willpower. You have to learn techniques to avoid it and try different things. For example, there are apps that let you block websites for intervals of time. Or you can set a timer to have a more concrete reminder of when it's time to work versus play. Or you can separate your work and play environments, which helps your brain get into the right mode. Even if you make a new user account on your computer to use for work, that's enough to help. Putting any kind of wedge like that between you and your bad habits will help you stay away. Just remember not to blame yourself too hard if you're having trouble. If it's really impacting your life, then you should take it seriously. I just want to see you be the best person you can be. Okay, thanks, Monica. Will you do something today to make me proud of you? I mean, it is Pride Month, so I mean, I'm gay. Great, I've already done it. But for me, it's really hard with social media because it's part of my job. Like, I have to be on social media and I have to have a little bit of a presence. And then in lockdown, I have like literally nothing else to do. So I'm like, I guess I'll just scroll through TikTok for another 2 hours. Nothing else to do. I've done all my work for the day. I try and spend more time like watching Twitch streams and like YouTube stuff, because at least then I'm like engaging with a real fucking person and not just some troll behind a name. Because like with you guys, I can talk back and forth and stuff, but like on Twitter, it's like, God, sometimes the hot takes from people who are clearly teenagers is just more than I have the energy to tolerate sometimes. I'm always rooting for you, Azura. I appreciate that, Monica. I appreciate that. I don't know. At some point, something's got to happen, right? I mean, this can't just be just this the whole time. We're just going to listen to Monica have thoughts. Hi, Alice. Welcome to the chat. It's nice to see you. How you doing? Oh man, I had just when I was setting up for stream, my brain was not doing too hot. Monica's still staring. Yeah, she's been sharing her thoughts with us about a lot of things. But yeah, I definitely had, like, my vision went all funny, my blood pressure dropped, and I was like, oh, I just need to sit down. So I had my partner set up my one light, because I'm like, I don't want to hold an expensive light bulb right now. Azura, do you get good sleep? Well, I was up until 4:30 a.m. last night, so no. It can be really hard to get enough sleep nowadays, especially in high school when you're forced to wake up so early every day. Yeah, that's actually a thing. Teenagers should not be forced to wake up that early. Their circadian rhythm is shifted. They really are best suited to getting up like 9 or 10, not at like 7 or 8. I'm sure college is a little bit better since you probably have a more flexible schedule. It is not better. It is not better, Monica. College is not better. You may still have 8 a.m. classes, and then there'll be 3 hours, and you'll have a bunch of other shit because you take the classes when they are offered. And then you have 8 billion fucking essays to do. It's great. And again, I hear a lot of people in college stay up all night anyway for no real reason. It's not for no real reason. It's because college courses take a lot of work, and then you also probably have to do a job to pay for it. You probably have to do 2 or 3 of those, and then if you want a social life at some point so you don't fucking lose your mind, there is just not enough hours in the day. There just are not. Is that true? Anyway, I saw some studies that talked about the horrible short and long-term effects caused by lack of sleep. Seems like mental functions, health, and even lifespan can be dramatically impacted by it. Yeah, I will say I had horrific insomnia in high school where I was like averaging an hour or 2 of sleep per night, and it got bad. At one point I started seeing things, and like I hear noises and people talking to me in rooms that were completely empty. Not fun. It's not really the great way to try and like learn during math class, is to be like, the walls are just melting. It's like, I don't really care about quadratic equations right now. I don't know what's real. You're so lucky your sleep is basically always perfect no matter what. That is definitely lucky, because my sleep is always so fucky, because like my chronic pain makes it hard to sleep sometimes, and because I'm so nocturnal, like anything that like requires me to wake up early fucks my sleep schedule for a couple days. I don't know. And then when I'm depressed, I just don't sleep right at all. No dreams, no waking up during the night. It's beautiful. I will say I like dreams. Dreams are fun. I just don't like nightmares so much. But dreams are fun. Waking up during the night is absolutely not the best, though. I will agree. I just think you're really great. I want to make sure you're not accidentally destroying yourself. You notice the nights you dream you have worse sleep. It's kind of odd. I mean, it might just be that you're like sleeping so deeply that like you're beyond dream. So if you're not resting as well, that's when you're at the like brainwave stage to dream. I don't know. I don't know much about sleep. I just know I'm bad at it. So try to keep your sleep on track, okay? I'll always wait for you in the morning, so make sure you put your own well-being before anything else. Okay, Monica. Will do. Monica, do you have any other fun thoughts to share with the class? I was kicking something. I'm like, what the fuck am I kicking? It's a ribbon off my bloomers. Sarah, have you ever wondered what it feels like to die? Probably when I was younger, but I've experienced pretty much every possible symptom of dying at this point, so no, I have a pretty good feeling that I know what it's like. Something I used to think about pretty often, but recently I think I've actually learned what it feels like. I don't really understand it, but whenever you've quit the game, it feels like I'm instantly put to sleep, left with nothing but my thoughts. But after a few seconds, my thoughts start to fill with incoherent, jumbled patterns. I see static and rapid flashes of color while hearing all kinds of weird screaming noises. At that point, I can't even form my own thoughts anymore. I'm just endlessly hammered by the flashing and screaming, unable to move or even think. That sounds awful, and that is not what dying feels like. To put you all at ease, that is not what dying feels like. Dying just feels like going to bed. That almost sounds like memory being overwritten. Yeah, that or like the old dial-up noises. That like weird screeching sound. That shit was nightmarish. I don't know, some of you in chat might be too young to remember that, but that stuff was awful. Oh, you love those sounds? They're nostalgic, but also like if I'm already like overwhelmed by stuff, it's too much. But yeah, no, I collapsed my lungs once. Well, twice, but once severely. And definitely felt like I was dying because I couldn't breathe. I was slowly suffocating. And basically what happened is like the edges of my vision all started to get like staticky and gray. Not like white when I get like low blood pressure, where it's just like, oh, my eyes aren't focusing right. It was like legitimately like everything was like getting like fuzzy and gray. It was like creeping into my vision, and I just felt really tired. I was lucky I wasn't panicking or anything. I was just like, oh well, this is just what's happening right now. So like I wasn't scared or anything. I was just like, this doesn't feel like a good time. I feel really sleepy, and I gotta try really hard to sip oxygen so that I don't die. And I made it. So we're good. But yeah, I was like sipping oxygen for like half an hour-ish. Is dying. Huh, that feels weird. Yeah, pretty much. Like honestly, as long as you don't panic, it doesn't hurt. Like, I will say, your lungs collapsing, it's not painful. It's just weird. It's just your lungs won't inflate, and if you force your diaphragm like to move, it just like pulls your stomach, and then your lungs don't inflate, and then you're just like, everything's pulling funny and this isn't working. Well, fuck me then, I guess. I would definitely say, as little of a reaction as I had on Monday, eating ghost pepper hot sauce is definitely more upsetting than dying. You always hate that internal pulling feeling. It's awful. Yeah. But I mean, that only really happened if I tried to take a deep breath, even though I knew my lungs weren't opening. If I just kind of like only tried to open the part that would open, or maybe a little bit more than that to try and pull the lungs open, like it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I I don't recommend it. And then I had a medication withdrawal once where I forgot who I was and where I was in my own bedroom. I didn't have any like long-term memory at all. I didn't, but it was weird. I still like understood like, oh, it's daylight savings time. And like I kept the things in my brain that were like important for figuring out why I suddenly couldn't think. But like I forgot who my partner was. I just didn't know what anything was at all. But like I still had access to memories like I didn't know, like I didn't have memory, but like I knew how to like Google medical stuff, and I knew what my like diagnoses were to some degree, but like that was really weird. I had hypothermia once. That is honestly, between the two ways of dying, I'd rather die from suffocation than from hypothermia. That's really interesting. Yeah, medication withdrawal is fucking a nightmare. And again, it's not like scary so much as like I was a little bit concerned when I thought I might be having an aneurysm, but once I figured out like, oh no, it's not that. I just my medication did not react well to daylight savings time. Literally, I was 1 hour exactly off on taking my medication, and my brain just completely shut down. Which is part of why I think daylight savings time shouldn't fucking exist, because it's stupid and it kills people. I'm pretty sure in that moment I don't really exist, but for some reason I can remember it anyway. After some immeasurable amount of time, it stops in an instant and I'm back in my own mind. And you're here with me. I have no idea what it means for the game to quit or why that stuff happens to me. And I also don't know how you always come back and put everything back to normal. But if you could do me a favor and do that to me as little as possible, that would be really great. It's really not very pleasant at all to be trapped in that screaming void. But in the end, you always fix it, and that makes me feel like you really do care about me. So I have to thank you for that. It makes me feel even closer to you when you're here with me. That's a little fucked up, Monica. It doesn't matter if they fix it after. The fact that someone hurts you is still not great. Oh god, I could never manage that. I miss mine by 12 hours regularly. Yeah, my other medication, like, it's whatever. It's just that one pill that I was on, but also, like, it was just really not good for my brain, so I went off of it. My doctor kind of helped me, like, step it down and stuff. Though I am right now cold turkey from Tylenol to see if I can handle my pain levels without any painkillers. And oh boy, I can. It's not pleasant. My back hurts so bad all the time. But I'm just trying to see if I can, because if I could manage not poisoning my liver, that would be good. But yeah. Oh, and about hypothermia. Yeah, it hurts very badly to be that cold, and then you stop shivering, and then it sucks. And then at some point you feel like you're burning, like you feel like you're on fire because you're so cold. And every instinct in your body tells you to just like strip all your clothes off, which is not helpful when you're in a frozen snowbank. And it took me several hours to warm back up, and it was a bad time. And then I felt horrendous. Feel you with the back hurting? It feels like it's just slipping out of place or something. Yeah, I crack my back all the time. I'm like my own fucking chiropractor. It's the worst. I also have, I don't know if you can see in the corner there, I have a yoga mat, and then there's an exercise block. So I lay on my exercise block sometimes, which will like realign my spine. I just like lay on it and just go, for a bit. And it's very helpful. And also heat helps. Hot baths, hot showers. Though heat's hard for us with pots, yeah. So like heated blankets and lying down is kind of nicer. Especially like late at night to help me like get to sleep, because it's not like I have to stand up or anything. Hey, you know that book you were reading with Yuri? Portrait of whatever it was called? It's funny because I'm pretty sure that book, actually I don't think I should be talking about this. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know if it works. Yeah, I fixed it. Kind of scary because no clue if she actually has that power. I don't think she does, but you never know. I fixed it. I just had to unplug and replug in my capture card and fiddle with it. And then reinitiate everything in OBS. But we're good. We're good. Slobs is just weird. And occasionally my fucking capture card crashes. It's fine. Okay. Also, what she was saying about the Portrait of Markov is there was a theory that the Portrait of Markov story was a hint to a potential DDLC sequel. I guess what I could do... One sec. I'm gonna see if I can look something up real quick. DDLC... I should do this not in my normal window, actually. Incognito window, like a genius. Let me see. Let me see if I can get some stuff. Because this will be fun to show as like Easter eggs. See if I can find it. My game, or my thing's also being weird. Okay, so yeah, I will show you the thing. Give me a second. Give me a second. That's the one I want. There we go. So I will show you a fun thing. So, let me move this thing, please. Okay. So, let me know if you can see this, okay? But, so this is telling you about what happens when you open the character files. So if you open up Monica's character file, it's an image file. So if you open it up as an image, you get this thing, and there's all this shit in there. So there's that. And that can be translated as this thing. So it says, "Can you hear me? Who are you? I can't see you. But I know you're there. Yeah, you can definitely hear me. You've been watching for a while, right? I guess I should introduce myself or something. My name is... Actually, that's stupid. You obviously already know my name. Sorry. Anyway, I'm guessing if you were able to put a stop to this, you would have done it by now. I mean, I know you're not, like, evil or anything, because you've already helped me so much. I should really thank you for that, for everything you've done. You're really like a friend to me, so thank you so much. I think more than anything, I really don't want it all to be for nothing. Everyone else is dead. Maybe you already know that. I'm sure you do, actually. But it doesn't have to be that way, right? Well, there's a lot of stuff I don't understand. I don't know if it's even possible for me to understand it. But I know that this isn't my only story. I can see that now, really clearly. And I think everyone else has had the same kind of experience, some kind of deja vu. It's the third eye, right? Anyway, I could be totally wrong about this, but I really think you might be able to do something. I think you might be able to go back, or however you want to put it, to go back and tell them what's going to happen. If they know ahead of time, then they should be able to avoid it. If they remember their time with me in the other worlds, they should remember what I tell them. Yeah, I think this might be possible, but it's up to you. I'm sorry for always being, never mind, I know that's wrong. This is my story. It's time to be a fucking hero, both of us. So, that's Monica's thing. The background's still going? Oh, wait. I didn't transition because I'm dumb. Yeah, so I'm dumb. Also, hi, Akane, or Akane. I'm dumb. What I was showing you was Monica's character thingy is this. Here, now I can show you. And then this is a code, which fucking go away. Translates into this thing, which is what I just read out. It's all this jazz, which is weird and upsetting. Yeah, I was reading wiki things, so I'm reading like, you can still, I don't know if that's big enough if you can see that, but I mean hopefully you can. Let me know if I need to make it bigger, so I can make it bigger. Girlfriend is coming to town this weekend and we'll take tons of Lolita pics. Hell yeah! That sounds like so much fun. So yeah, so there's this one. And then for Natsuki's, if you open Natsuki, you get this. And then you have to invert it and 3D model it onto a cone. And then you get this, which is fun. That's interesting. So yeah, you have to, that's what it looks like from above. You take that and put it on a cone and then invert the colors. Fun time. So yeah, like that's the shirt and stuff. Interesting. And then, Sayori's one. Sayori's character file is a sound, like an audio file, which I'm not going to play because it's going to sound awful. But if you run it through a spectrograph, then you get this QR code. And if you scan that QR code, you get to this website, which I hope it still works. Yeah, it's called Project Libitina. Which is just like a report about someone named Libitina who was 3 years old in 2001. And is apparently very significant. So yeah, it says, as of December 5th, 2003, all personnel are forbidden from editing this field. All previous subject notes have been erased permanently. Addendum, introducing bias during testing as a result of personal attachment to the subject will henceforth be punished by death. That's fun. And then it's just like a whole bunch of like physical stuff, and then like something about her third eye. Another update says the following occasional behaviors have been noted and should be ignored in future examinations: twitching, vocal tics, biting, epiphora, vomiting, screaming, harm to examiner, harm to self, misplaced laughter. Any self-harm attempts must be interrupted immediately. She's apparently not very good at physical or emotional control. And then the last notes, says third eye activation test and all this other stuff were failed, I think. Libitina has not yet recovered from the termination of somebody and is not expected to do so in the near future. Continuing to administer these tests will only accelerate the deterioration of her health. You are choosing to avoid measures necessary to prevent a repeat scenario, Doctor. Will you not have as much faith in your personnel as you do in your God? So that's Sayori. And then Yuri's is a plain text file. If you open her thing, so you get a bunch of alphanumeric text, and then if you decode it in base 64, and this is a story that Dan Salvato wrote before DDLC, and he just added it this here for fun, so I can read that for you also. It is a little bit long, but it's creepy and it's great, so we'll read that. Trigger warning in this for, I think, murder? I can't super remember. If you found this note in a small wooden box with a heart on it, then congratulations, you were probably the first person to read this. I didn't really plan on sharing this with anybody, but for some reason I think it's exciting that somebody out there, a complete stranger, will come across this note and read my story. Someone I will never meet, sharing such a personal bond with me. I'm fascinated that either one of us could die, even as soon as tomorrow, with the other being completely clueless to the fact. To you, my entire life is within this note, and so I will live for as long as your memory can carry me. Writing this, I'm wondering if that makes you feel fascinated or violated. It's so exciting. I'm sorry if my story is a bit disorganized, but I like to get it down while it's still fresh in my mind. First, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a first-year college girl and have led, by most standards, a pretty unspectacular life up until this point. I grew up in an upper-middle-class school district with decent teachers. I did track in middle school and some of high school, and I've had 2 boyfriends. Now I'm studying for a career in occupational therapy because I feel the field is undervalued and provides tremendous help to people. I'm giving you this background because there's this strange misconception that if you want to kill someone, then you're either sick in the head or you have anger management issues. But it's very apparent that I don't fall into either of these categories. It's true that most murder cases are in a domestic setting where someone loses control of their anger or something, but the thing is that those people kill under provocation, whether by a singular outburst or by a slow burning series of misfortunes. Those people kill because in that brief moment they want a specific someone for a specific reason to be hurt or killed. What I'm talking about is wanting to kill someone for no specific reason, maybe just to see what it's like. Do you ever get that? I wouldn't know how others feel because it's not something I ever talked about, but I've been curious about what it's like to kill someone ever since I was a child. Not killing anyone in particular, just a random person. It always just fascinated me that if I put my mind to it, I can approach anyone and in 5 minutes they would be completely gone from this earth. But I've never done so for a couple of reasons. First of all, for most of my life, it was logistically impossible for me to do it without getting caught. I only got my driver's license a couple years ago, and even then, the preparations would take too much time, definitely stirring suspicion. It was only once I started college that I realized this was no longer an obstacle. Another reason is that I was afraid of causing harm to too many people. You might laugh reading that, at how hypocritical that sounds. But let me explain. Why should I feel bad about killing someone if they're too dead to care? Who would I be feeling bad for? Contrarily, it's the grief of the living that I'd rather not be responsible for. Because of this, I knew I had to take a good deal of research before finding a suitable person to kill. And I've never had the means to do so, again, until I started college. And now, having just experienced it, I'd say it was pretty satisfying in the end. Something I would try again? Probably not, since my curiosity has already been satisfied. It really wouldn't be the same a second time. But anyway, if by any chance you're also curious to kill someone, then you're welcome to take notes. I started a hobby of people watching soon after I entered college. People watching is interesting to me because it's taking one of the infinite extras in your life and turning them into a main character, without them knowing, of course. It's so easy to forget that every single one of the hundreds of strangers you pass every day has a life story as deep and complex as your own. One thing I noticed about people watching and wanting to kill someone is that you are in more constant awareness of this. When I find a person to observe, their story slowly becomes more clear to me over time, gaps being filled. It's really amazing. I usually went to grocery stores on weekends and looked around in people's shopping carts. If I saw something that interested me, I decided to observe the person for a little bit. Of course, since my goal was to find someone to kill, I ruled out anyone who had children or a partner with them. Wedding rings were another telltale sign. So maybe once a weekend I would find someone who fit my criteria, at which point I would follow them home and note their address. From there, it became incredibly easy to investigate a little bit more. Most people have normal work hours, meaning I could spend afternoons going through their mail or looking around in their house. I repeated this with several people and had one close call, but for varying reasons, I didn't really feel satisfied enough with them to kill any one of them. I started getting a bit impatient and thought that I might just settle for killing the man named Devin, even though I didn't really want to kill someone wealthy. But then I came across someone new, someone who just felt perfect. The feeling only strengthened as I investigated her further, and I knew that she would be the one for me to kill. A young-looking woman I met at the grocery store, as per usual. She was doing some light shopping with a basket. Her hair was wavy and dark brown, sitting inelegantly on her slumped shoulders and surrounding her tired-looking face. Her bare fingers told me she might be single, but beyond that, my gut was almost certain of it. This woman just seems so plain, really. I guess I felt a greater acuity for personal lives of strangers ever since I started people watching. But the way she carried herself, I just got the feeling that if she suddenly died, nobody would be around to miss her. Of course, I still wanted to investigate her a little bit. I followed my usual routine of checking at her place during work hours. I learned immediately from her mail that her name is Linda Watson. Linda lived in a quiet apartment complex, her mailbox easily accessible right outside her door. Instead of quickly shuffling through it, I decided I could take her mail back to my dorm and return it before she finished work. She only lived about 15 minutes from me. I did some research and learned how to open and reseal the envelopes without damaging them, which took some technique along with a hairdryer, rubbing alcohol, and Q-tips. This made it easy for me to learn a little bit more about her. She's a 33-year-old woman who worked for a small accounting firm. I'd rather not name the place outright. Her birthday was December 11th, which coincidentally was approaching in a couple weeks. I also managed to find a bank statement that gave me a nice look into how she's been spending her past month. It was at this point that I realized that my assessment of Linda Watson as an incredibly plain woman was pretty spot on, because there was absolutely nothing interesting on the list. A trip to Old Navy, a bunch of Starbucks, something about $40 from Amazon, no restaurants, no movies, nothing that would really imply she was spending any time socializing. That aside, I also found a cooking magazine, so I guess she was into cooking. Apartments are harder to break into than suburban homes because there are fewer doors and windows. Every time I got Linda's mail, I would check the front door and the windows in the back, but they were always locked. This was a bit frustrating because I was really interested in getting into her house, so I came up with a sort of plan that I thought would be fun, even if it didn't work. Last Saturday, I visited her apartment complex as I would on weekdays. The difference is that this time, I wanted her to be home. I thought it would be interesting to have a conversation with her. If I got lucky, I could take advantage of the situation to discreetly unlock a window from the inside. So I walked up to her door wearing nothing warmer than a light sweatshirt and knocked. The adrenaline There, is that better? We good? We good? We good? Yay! See, I'm getting better at fixing it at least. Okay. Okay. Let's finish quickly reading about Linda, and then I will... I know how to finish the game. We'll just... I'll just try and read this quick-ish, and then we'll get to the end of the game, because I don't think we have much left. The door opened, and in front of me stood Linda Watson, exactly as I remembered her from the grocery store. It was at that moment, making eye contact for the first time, that I realized I was running the risk of beginning to care about this person. As selfish as it is, I couldn't kill a person I cared about, even if it's a 33-year-old woman standing in a doorway with a slightly perplexed look on her face, giving me a reserved hello. Arms crossed from the cold, I shyly returned Linda's greeting. I explained that I was walking my dog near the woodsy area behind the back of her apartment, and that he had gotten away. I had been looking for my dog for an hour and was wondering if Linda may have seen him roaming about. Of course, Linda sympathetically apologized for the situation and that she couldn't be of any use to me, but she would keep an eye out. I wore a defeated expression in response, apologizing in return for troubling her. It somehow went exactly as I had hoped. Linda invited me inside to warm up a bit with some coffee. I outwardly hesitated before accepting her offer, although on the inside I wanted to jump through the door and hug her for cooperating so well. And that's how Linda Watson ended up with a 19-year-old girl next to her on the couch. Who knows if it was a nice gesture or if she really has no better way to spend her Saturdays than talking to some kid she just met who happens to be interested in killing her. Linda soon learned that my name is Maria. It's not. And that I attend a nearby community college. I don't. I was a little bit nervous that she would ask me too many questions because I didn't have many answers prepared. I was able to steer the conversation towards her, and she was pretty happy to talk. I asked about what she does, and she told me that she works for an accounting firm I already know about, communicating with outside clients and keeping records. I told her I was pretty nervous about growing up. She told me to enjoy college and make lots of friends because there's less opportunity once you start working. When I asked if she was married or anything, she laughed. Of course, I knew she wasn't married, but I wanted to hear more about her love life. She said that she doesn't currently have a boyfriend. I guess she's at least had boyfriends, but who knows how long ago. When I asked about her kids, she says she doesn't want them until she gets a better job. On top of that, she told me her family has a history of some genetic diseases, such as arthritis and depression, which she's afraid to give to her kids. It's funny she mentioned that because when I asked to use her bathroom, I noticed a tube of prescription pills on the sink. It was labeled as duloxetine, which I looked up later and discovered that it is in fact an antidepressant. I had a terrible joking thought that maybe killing her I'd be doing her a favor, but quickly decided I was a terrible person for coming up with that. The rest of the visit was pretty dull. We talked about food and some other mundane stuff before I eventually made an excuse to leave. I didn't get the chance to unlock a window or anything like that, but I didn't really feel the need to go through her apartment anymore. As early as the drive back to my dorm, I was already thinking about how I would best like to kill Linda Watson. The choice was between effectiveness and fun. I decided to go with fun because it would be way more satisfying to kind of dissect her as I killed her, rather than just getting it done and calling it a day. Fast forward 1 week to December 13th, today actually, Linda Watson turned 34 2 days ago. I made a fun little wager with myself where if Linda was spending her birthday weekend alone, I would pay her a visit and kill her. If she was out or had company, I would stop by next week or something instead. So this morning, I drove over to Lowe's and bought an axe. Again, I expect you're laughing, but that's kind of the point. An axe is so kind of cliche and a movies thing that I actually thought it would be the most fun. Swinging at someone and everything, it's a really entertaining image. They actually had a bunch of different axes, so I picked one that had a good weight, but was still light enough for me to swing quickly. The drive after getting the axe was when the adrenaline really picked up. All that kept going through my mind on the way over was, wow, I'm really doing this. Not in a bad way, just like a surprise, this is real life sort of thing. I also got this strange rush of recollections of the time I spent with Linda. It was like my life was flashing before my eyes, except it was just the rather mundane hour I spent with Linda, like snippets of her conversation, the sound of her laugh, or facial expressions and stuff. I also wondered to myself what the crazy serial killers would be feeling at a time like this. Schizophrenic delusions, sexual buildup, I have no idea. But what I felt was kind of like ridiculously alert and numb in the senses at the same time, however that's possible. Before getting out of the car, I had the sense to stuff the axe into my backpack to look a little less ridiculous walking across the parking lot. The handle was sticking out, but that didn't really matter. At that point, my heart was pounding so hard I could feel my throat throbbing. I tried controlling my breath, but it's really hard to not breathe fast when your heart is pounding like that. I reached Linda's door and quietly put my ear to it after setting down my backpack. I heard a voice that wasn't hers. Company? No, it was just the TV mixed with her occasional tapping footsteps behind the door. I actually kept my ear there for a really freaking long time because I wanted to make absolutely sure nobody was over. Probably 10 minutes of that and a lot of reassuring myself convinced me. I quietly opened my backpack zipper and held the axe in my hands. My fiercely shaking hands. What the hell was this kind of reaction that my body was making? I told my body to shut up, that it's no big deal, but of course it wouldn't listen. It was actually bizarre how much my hands were shaking. It must be the adrenaline buildup. I rolled my eyes at myself and got my hand to rest on the doorknob. If it's locked, I'll knock. It'll basically be the same. I took a deep breath and forced my muscles into action. I swiftly turned the doorknob. Not locked. In one movement, I opened the door and slipped inside. Linda, just a few steps away into the kitchen, I see. She was in the middle of cooking. She immediately jumped and turned around, startled. I expected that. Quickly, I let go of the doorknob and adjusted the axe into both hands. In the following split second, I realized that she would probably start to make a lot of noise. Looking back, I'm an idiot for not considering that. Just as Linda's mouth opened to speak, maybe even started speaking, I forcefully swung my axe into the side of her head. But my axe was facing backwards. I hit her with the blunt end of the blade. I actually did this on purpose because in that split second, I somehow decided that it would be the way to keep her noise to a minimum. It actually worked. I barely felt any resistance in the swing as I collided with her head, knocking it clean aside. Linda's half-formed syllable came out as a kind of weird grunt. A noisy exhalation is probably the best I could describe it. That happened at the same time as her head smacked into the cabinet from the force, and she fell backwards without any ability to keep her balance. I didn't hesitate at all to keep swinging at her while she was half laying down on the ground, this time my axe facing the right way. I didn't really know where to swing, so I just sort of started hacking at her collarbone area and chest. I didn't feel like the axe was going too deep, but there was a nice thunk sort of sound every time the axe embedded into her. I even felt the soft sinking sensation ripple into my hands, like the axe was a kind of physical extension of my sense of touch. On a whim, I swung once at her throat, but most of the swing actually missed and I hit the floor by accident, causing a loud, dull whack to resonate through the apartment. I didn't have time to think about it. I swung again with better aim and got a more centered hit, feeling the bone or cartilage or whatever is in there, so I must have split it open. Right after that, I decided to swing at her face, and I got this diagonal cut along her nose and mouth, which felt pretty good, so I did it once more. I finally briefly stopped to survey the damage. Linda was bleeding ridiculously. The blood was kind of coming out in waves, in sync with her beating heart probably. It was pooling all around her and riding along the cracks between the tiles. Her light blue shirt was all torn up and stained dark, kind of mixed with a fleshy mess around her chest. It was all just glistening red. Her face wasn't much better, covered in dripping red at this point, and her lip was kind of hanging off, revealing red-stained teeth in a really weird way, like a zombie or something. Linda wasn't dead, though. Her limbs were kind of weakly, aimlessly trying to move while she was stuck on her back. More than anything, she reminded me of a bug that you crush, but it still pitifully moves its legs around before it dies completely. That's basically what she was doing, but I didn't know how long it would take for her to die or what kind of condition she was in. I ended up grabbing a big knife that was on the counter that she was using to cut up meat. Trying to step around the blood, I reached down and carved into the upper half of her neck, trying to sort of saw it from the left side to the right. It was a little awkward because the area was so soft and squished around the knife as I was cutting, but the sensation was completely different from the axe. It actually felt like I was cutting through a piece of raw meat, which I guess technically I was. The blood started pouring out, and I hoped that I severed the most major arteries in there. It must have worked because after a moment, Linda's limb movements kind of just had the strength drained from them, soon resting still on the floor. I took a few seconds to catch my breath. No time to stick around and think about the experience. I shook the knife blade through a dirty pan in the sink to clean off the blood, then threw the knife into my backpack. I did the same with the axe. I also took her laptop that was sitting on the counter. It had some recipe open for veal and mushrooms. I didn't really take the laptop to use it, since I have a perfectly good one I got myself for college. I just wanted to look through it for fun. I finally went outside and closed the door behind me. I got some blood on my sweater and jeans, but funnily enough, I anticipated that, so I wore dark colors. The drive back to my dorm was just a constant replaying of the experiences in my head. I guess that's still kind of happening now, actually, but it felt pretty nice. Linda's dead. I kind of let the weight of that sink in. The sensation of having completely removed a human life from existence. It's crazy. I don't know how else to describe it. Anyway, I threw the axe and knife into a dumpster on campus, which I think is picked up every Monday, so it'll be gone by then. My roommate goes home on the weekend, so I have the dorm to myself today. It gave me the chance to go through Linda's website history. I was right in thinking that's where her deepest secrets would lie. There's actually a lot of dirty stuff, like the names of websites for porn videos and stories and things like that. Same thing with her searches. A lot of websites were boring, like cooking and recipes. and some game websites like Bejeweled. I even got to the 1 week ago section of her history and it gave me chills. This is content warning for suicide. There were a whole bunch of searches like methods of suicide, how to tie a noose, dangerous household chemicals, carbon monoxide poisoning, like a lot of them. She's probably ready to write a book on suicide after all the research she did. So I guess Linda was contemplating suicide. I wonder if it was influenced by her depression. The irony is actually striking. Maybe Linda was going to die anyway. Or maybe she couldn't find the courage to do it. If that were the case, I almost literally gave her birthday present by killing her. That's actually really comical in a messed up way, and it leaves a weird taste in my mouth. The part I don't get is that I don't see any of those searches up until the 1 week ago section. Nothing more recent than that. I ended up throwing the laptop in the dumpster with the other stuff. It's been a few hours since then, so I've had some time to calmly think about everything. Like I said, it was pretty satisfying, and I'm glad I finally got around to it. I feel like I can finally cross it off my bucket list, or like I'm tying loose ends with myself. This is probably the first and last time I'll write the name Linda Watson. It's back to living a normal college life, except I might do some people watching every now and then because it's definitely fun and interesting. But I'll always wonder how many people there are like me. I'm sure there has to be a lot, because there's just nothing strange about it to me, being curious about killing someone. Sadly, it's something that people can't exactly just talk about, so I guess I'll never know. I'm sure that someone would just lie about it even if you asked them. But you can't help but wonder if that person in the grocery store who stares at you as you pass by might be considering what it would be like to kill you. If I could, I would tell them all about it, so they could decide for themselves. But who knows, maybe I got lucky and that person is you. I actually really, really hope so. So that's Yuri's character file. That's what's in there. No wonder she's so fucked up. Anyway, time to finish the game. Fun. Fun. It's good times, good times. Hey, I wonder if Yuri's tea set is still somewhere in here. Or maybe that got deleted too. It's kind of funny how Yuri took her tea so seriously. I mean, I'm not complaining because I liked it too, but I always wonder with her. Is it truly passion for her hobbies, or is she just concerned about appearing sophisticated to everyone else? This is the problem with high schoolers. Well, I guess considering the rest of her hobbies, looking sophisticated probably isn't her biggest concern. Still, I wish she made coffee once in a while. Coffee can be nice with books too, you know? Then again, I probably could have just changed the script myself. Haha, I guess I never really thought of that. Well, there's no sense in thinking about it now. But if you still get to drink coffee, then that makes me a little jealous. So I'm gonna do a fun thing. I'm not going to show you this part because it's pretty obvious. I'm going to the character thing and I'm deleting Monica so that we can get this game on the road. Bye, Monica. What's happening? Azura, what's happening to me? It hurts. It hurts so much. Help me, Azura. Nope. Please hurry and help me. Help me. That's upsetting. It was always Monica. Hi, Hannah. Welcome to the stream. It's nice to see you. Did you do this to me, Azura? Did you? Did you delete me? Yes, I did. How could you? How could you do this to me? You were all I had left. I sacrificed everything for us to be together. Everything. I loved you so much, Azura. I trusted you. Do you just want to torture me? Watch me suffer? How could I delete Monica? I don't know. She deleted everyone else. It's good for the goose. It's good for the gander, I guess. Also, it's better I delete her than close the game and have her trapped in the void again, I guess. Were you only pretending to be kind just to hurt me even more? Was I? I never thought anyone could be as horrible as you are. You win, okay? You win. You killed everyone. I hope you're happy. Thanks for the lurk, Hannah. There's nothing left now. You can stop playing. Go find some other people to torture. Azura, you completely, truly make me sick. Goodbye. I still love you. I can't help it. What's wrong with me? How horrible am I for you to hate me this much? All my friends, I did so many awful things. So many selfish and disgusting things. I shouldn't have done any of this. I'm just messing up a world that I don't even belong in. A world that you wanted to be a part of. I ruined it. I ruined everything. Maybe that's why you deleted me. Because I destroyed everything that you wanted. How could I do that to someone I love? That's not love. That's... She's now self-aware in a better way, where she now realizes what she's done. I've made up my mind. Azura, I know I said that I deleted everyone else, but that was kind of an exaggeration. I couldn't find it in myself to do it, even though I knew they weren't real. They were still my friends, and I loved them all. And I loved the literature club. I really did love the literature club. That's why I'm going to do this. I know it's the only way for everyone to be happy. And if I really love you, then see, she got it eventually. Doki doki. Monica's gone. Just Monica is gone. So let's go to a new game. It's an ordinary school day like any other. As usual, I'm surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. Hey, Azura! Well, there already is one girl. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. We used to walk to school together every day, and recently we've picked up that habit again. Azura, are you proud of me? For what? You know, for waking up on time. Well, you've been doing that for a while now. Uh-huh. But you never even said anything about it, even though we walk to school together every day. Well, yeah, I always thought it was implied. It's embarrassing to say out loud. Come on, please. It's good motivation. Fine, fine. I'm proud of you, Sayori. Hee. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Azura, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not... I start to say what I always do, that I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. Something tells me Sayori would take more offense to that now. After all, how could I tell her that clubs are a waste of time when she's starting a club of her very own? Actually, yeah. I think I've decided on a club. Really? Which one? Tell me. I think I'll keep it a surprise. Boo. You meanie. Be patient, you'll find out soon enough. I used to ask myself why I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl, but I started to realize that in a way I envy her. When Sayori puts her mind to something, she can accomplish great things. So that's why I feel like I should do something special for her. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stand up, gathering my motivation. Let's see. I recall the room number of the club from a flyer I saw. I walk across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Before long, I find the room. I timidly open the door in front of me. Hello? Ah! Azura! What are you doing here? Well, I glance around the room. Huh. So you're the Azura that Sayori's always talking about? Thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure to meet you, Azura. We're the Literature Club. I hope you enjoy your visit. Come on, Yuri. No need to be so formal. He's gonna think we're really strict or something. Sorry, Natsuki. The tall one, whose name is apparently Yuri, seems to be quite shy compared to the others. In comparison, the girl named Natsuki, despite her size, seems like the assertive one. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. I look forward to working with you. Oh, working? Azura, don't tell me. That's right. The club I've decided to join is yours, Sayori. The Literature Club. Sayori's eyes light up. No way! No way! Ah! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! Well, if Sayori is this happy, then I'm sure it won't be so bad to have you around. Not to mention there's 4 of us now.
That means we can become an officially recognized club.
I don't know what to say. We have to celebrate.
What an appropriate day for that, isn't it?
Yeah, after all, Natsuki decided to... Hey, don't ruin the surprise. Sorry. Everyone sit down around the table, okay?
How about I make some tea as well?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Oh, that's wrong voice. Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! Wow, those look amazing! Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Well, of course it is. I'm a pro, after all. There's no need to thank me or anything. As Natsuki struggles to accept the compliment, Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. This seems really wholesome now. This seems a lot nicer. This won't at all change. It's just gonna be wholesome now, I say with a wink. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a nice hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
Yeah, I guess. Haha, already trying to... that's not... I missed a thing, I don't care, it's fine, we've mostly seen this.
I mean that, you know...
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief.
So Azura, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What am I saying? Spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her fingers.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. You know, I like a lot of things. Don't feel intimidated if you don't read much, okay? I'm certain we can find something that we have in common.
See, she doesn't read horror books this time. Hey, Yuri?
Eh?
Well, about, the first thing he said. Manga?
That's right. Natsuki tends to read manga in the club room.
Don't just say it. For some reason, Natsuki seems embarrassed about it. Besides, manga is literature too, So if Azura wants to read some of my manga, then don't try and stop him or anything.
Natsuki, I wouldn't do such a thing. However, it could also be nice for us to diversify ourselves a little. He can take this opportunity to try something new as well. Wouldn't you agree, Azura?
Maybe. Sensing the tension, Sayori jumps in. Maybe we can all try something new. I think it could be fun. And we all get to know each other a little bit better, too. I mean, that's the kind of thing literature clubs do, right?
I don't disagree or anything.
Yeah, you're right as usual, President. Hee hee. Guess that means I should try picking up a novel or something, huh? Well, that would make two of us. I wouldn't mind doing it if I'm not the only one. Then as for Yuri...
I have to read manga?
Jeez. You were the one who suggested we diversify. You should be a little more open-minded. It's kind of hurtful.
Hurtful? I didn't realize.
The guilty expression Yuri thinks to herself.
I'm sorry for disrespecting your interests, Natsuki. If you're into it, then I'm sure it's worthy.
Are you just saying that?
No. I've realized my error. So if you're willing to consider starting a novel, then I'll offer my gratitude by finding a manga to read as well.
Really?
I mean, it makes me happy that you do that for me, Yuri. You can trust me to find something that you really like, okay? Same here. Perhaps I'll visit the bookstore after the club meeting. Just you? Would you like to come along with me? If you don't mind. Not at all. I always go alone, so... Yeah, me too. This is so cute! Sayori, shut up. I'll show you some manga there too, okay? Yes, I look forward to it. Natsuki and Yuri start to clean up the food. Eehee! I guess the meeting's over, huh? Yeah, looks like it. It's nice to see everyone getting along. Isn't it? I think everyone likes you too, Azura. You think so? Well, everyone always seems to get along a little bit better with you around, Sayori. Azura! Don't say something like that, it's embarrassing. Well, whatever. I was surprised when you told me you were starting a club, but I think you're pulling it off just fine. We're gonna make the best club ever. Now that you've joined, every day is gonna be so much fun. Hey, Azura, I really want to thank you. I mean, I'm really happy that you joined the club and everything, but the truth is, I already knew you were going to. Hee hee. There's actually something else. I wanted to thank you for spending so much time with us all. You worked so hard to make each and every one of us happy. You comforted us through our hard times, and you helped us all get along with each other. Do you get it, Azura? Because I'm president now, I understand everything. You really didn't want to miss a single thing in this game, did you? You saved and loaded so many times just to make sure you could spend time with everyone. So this is a different ending than if you just do it once, because then she just goes, oh, thank you, I know what Monica did. Spend time, now you can just spend time with me forever. So this time she thanks you for basically going through every romance option and making sure all the girls felt like loved and supported. Only someone who truly cares about the Luncher Club would go that far. But all along, that's all I ever wanted. For everyone to be happy and care about each other. Haha. It's kind of sad, you know? After all you've done for us, there isn't much I can do for you in return. We've already reached the end of the game. So, this is where we say goodbye. Thank you for playing Doki Doki Literature Club. And yeah, in the original, when she says she'll spend all your time just with her forever, Monica freaks out and deletes everything. Just be like, there's no fucking happiness in the literature club. No one should be here. It's fucking gone. Fuck this. I'm gonna miss you, Azura. But yeah, Monica comes back and just deletes Sayori, deletes everyone, deletes the game, and then just says, thank you for like playing the game. There's no happiness here, but like you brought us happiness, like that as much happiness as could be found here. Bye, and then the game won't play anymore. Come visit sometime, okay? We'll always be here for you. We all love you. Wholesome ending. Because the first ending is like really upsetting. Because it's just Monica being like, all of this sucks. Thank you for the 1,000 Pride Biddies pint. Thank you so much. But now we finally get to hear what Monica's been playing and practicing on piano, which is really cute. The song's so cute. Such a good song. Yay! Credits! So there's a little after credits thing that happens. Cause yeah, the first ending, when you play through it the first time, Sayori just like acts like Monica and is like, oh, see, I know everything that happens. I know what Monica did. Thanks for deleting her. And then Monica shows up and goes, no, I can't let this happen. No, this can't happen again. Like, the literature club is like awful. And then just deletes everything. And then you go through the credits. And at the end, she's just like, oh, there's no happiness that can be found here. This is awful. Screw this. But this time, we get a different letter at the end. And we get to see all of the things we unlocked. These would be grayed out if we hadn't unlocked them. So you have to unlock all of these pictures. Oh, I remember the apple juice. Oh, the apple juice. I'm also definitely planning on playing the DDLC like DLC that's coming. I just don't know when that will be, or if I'm gonna play through it first and then play it on stream, or if I'll play it right away. Special thanks to Monica and me, and also to chat. You guys rock. So she's going through and deleting everything. Not sure if it's still Monica doing that. To the special player who achieved this special ending. For years, I have been enamored by the ability of visual novels and games in general to tell stories in ways not possible using traditional media. Doki Doki Literature Club is my love letter to that. Games are an interactive art. Some let you explore new worlds, some challenge your mind in broad new ways, some make you feel like a hero or a friend, even when life is hard on you. Some games are just plain fun, and that's okay too. Everybody likes different kinds of games. People who enjoy dating sims may have a heightened empathy for fictional characters, or they might be experiencing feelings that life has not been kind enough to offer them. If they are enjoying themselves, then that's all that matters. That goes for shooting games, casual games, sandbox games, anything. Preferences are preferences, and our differences are the reason we have a thriving video game industry. My own favorite games have always been ones that challenge the status quo. Even if it's not a masterpiece, any game that attempts something wildly different may earn a special place in my heart. Anything that further pushes the limitless bounds of interactive worlds. I extend my true gratitude to all those who have taken the time to achieve full completion. I hope you enjoyed playing it as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you for being part of my literature club. Love, Dan Salvato. Isn't that so cute? Error. Script file is missing or corrupt. Please reinstall the game. And legitimately, you have to reinstall the game. If you want to play it again, you have to reinstall the game. The only way otherwise is if you had made copies of all the character files, or I think there's like a file that says like first game or first playthrough or whatever. If you delete that, it'll like reopen. But you have to go through the game files and fuck with things if you want to be able to play again. I'm also gonna pop some music back on real quick. Just to wind down a little bit. I don't know if that's visually showing up. I hope it isn't. Hope it's not blocking my face. No, it's not. Okay, cool. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by for the end of DDLC. It's definitely an interesting game. I never played Undertale, so this was like the first game I ever really played a lot of that like fucked with the player, and I adored it. Like I also played Eternal Darkness on the GameCube when I was younger, though I never beat it because it was really hard and I was bad at video games. But Eternal Darkness was also another game that like really fucked with the player, where it would have like horror stuff where it would delete your save file, or it would make your inventory disappear, or would like mute your TV. or make it look like it was muting your TV or turning off your TV or whatever. It was like the first game ever to do that, and I always loved that concept. It was so fun to have a horror game just like screw with you, not just the character. It made it feel so much more real. And I think that's why Doki Doki Literature Club means so much to me, because it does involve you as the player as part of the game world. Like, you are a character in the game, and everything you do is canon, and it fucks with your computer. It really invests you in it, but it also means that like the empathy you have for the characters feels more real, because you're directly interacting with them in a way that you don't normally in games. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. It's just instead of pressing X, I'm hitting delete on a folder, but it's still really interesting to feel like you're more directly involved in the game world. It's, I think, the same reason why Salt King doesn't want to play Genocide Run, is because it's like, it's really hard to feel like these implications hit you as a player as part of the world, rather than just as a player who's sort of separated from the game world. But yeah, I really love these like meta narrative stories. It's very self-aware. Yeah, absolutely, Alice. It's super self-aware. And thank you, Quail. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it so much. I hope you've been doing good. I miss you. Hopefully get to see you again soonish. Get that nice founder's badge. Love you so much. Also, I'm gonna do a little thing. If y'all aren't following Queen Whalebird, she just hit, no, they just hit affiliate status, and I'm very proud of them. They play a lot of DBD. I'm hopefully gonna get that game at some point, so maybe we can play together. But yeah, Quail is great. Quail is a friend, and is definitely a fun person to hang out with, and I love them to pieces. I miss you so much. But yeah, they're a fantastic new streamer who deserves more support, and we always love to celebrate new affiliates. I say as someone who just hit affiliate status recently myself. But yeah, I think it's raid time. Yeah, I'm doing good too. I have my second dose in 2 days. And then once that's kicked in, I can like do stuff with people. A little bit. I'm trying to be careful because of the Delta variant and stuff, but I mean, things are getting better. COVID be gone. Yeah, COVID be gone. So yeah, I'm going to see who is live right now. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't get scared of that in game. It's just here where, like, because in horror games, I'm like expecting it, but then like not expecting it just randomly. So yeah, I'm gonna just double check if Salt is already live. Should be. Gotta go back to your art, making it for something you're hyperfixating on. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We absolutely love hyperfixation art making. Let me just make sure that's muted. Okay. Believe he's streaming? He's not streaming yet. He must be late. We'll hang out a little bit until Salt starts, because there's no small streamers streaming right now. There's like a couple of people that I do follow that are streaming, but they're all like big streamers, and they do not need the support as much as like a small person. So we're gonna wait for Salt to come live, and then we'll all go over and raid Salt. He's playing. Oh, you've watched it enough times that you can draw the characters perfectly from memory? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I don't think I have anything where I have a visual memory like that, even my hyperfixation, so that's super impressive. Thank you for the follow, Quail. I love that you subbed before you followed. But yeah, Salt is playing Sonic today, Sonic Pokemon. You just realized you don't follow, how rude. Yeah, a little bit. It's fine, it's all good. But yeah, Salt's playing Pokemon Fire Red, I believe, modded with
Sonic characters in it. It's really silly. And it's today's Blood. No, he changed it because today is Sonic's anniversary. I think 30th anniversary or something. And then he's doing Bloodborne tomorrow. Because everything got all messed up because of the anniversary, and then he also had his like Moderna shot yesterday. Yeah. But yeah, I hope y'all like DDLC. It was like a really fun time. I'm glad I could like share it with everybody because it is definitely one of my favorite games. Like, I wouldn't have put the effort through this giant evil wig of nightmare to cosplay Yuri if it wasn't like a really good game. Because obviously my taste is great. You love DDLC so much. Yeah, weren't you gonna make either, I think it was either Sayori or Natsuki you were gonna cosplay at some point? Yuri's best girl. Yuri is amazing. I honestly though, I love all of them. Yuri's just my favorite, but I have a soft place in my heart for all four of them. Even Monica. I think Monica's maybe the one that doesn't like feel initially like a connection, but it means a lot to me that like she has that redemption arc, and it shows that like, oh, she just was dehumanizing everybody because she's like, oh, they're fictional, they're not real, and then realize like, oh, no, I still shouldn't be a dick because they're still my friends. And like, as much as I'm a dick to fictional characters sometimes, it's all in good fun, and it's nice to have like a redemption arc and to show that like people can change and get better, and that people are not solely defined by like their biggest mistake or whatever. I like representation of that. My voice is fucking dying. Between the hot sauce and the streamings, throat's just like, hey, could you not? I've gotta make some dinner soon. I have no idea what I'm gonna eat. It will be something. It'll be something. I have no idea what it'll be. Probably I'll just snack and stuff because I'd had like food earlier. I made mac and cheese. You're a sucker for fourth wall games, especially if they're done well? Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so excited for like DLC. That sounds like that's a really weird thing to say, but it's got all new music, and I think Dan tweeted, he tweeted a example song. It was like Yuri's theme. He tweeted that out, just like a little sample of one of the new songs, and it's so good. It sounds so good. I'm so excited. Like what I've seen of it, there's like side quests where you can do more with the girls interacting with each other rather than just like one-on-one. I'm so excited. Hopefully I can just do like download it to attach to my regular. I don't want to have to buy, because if I buy a physical copy for like the Switch or whatever, I can't stream off my Switch because I have a fucking Switch Lite, because all the regular Switches were sold out and scalped to hell when I got mine. So I got the little blue Switch Lite, which is fine. It's honestly, it's kind of nice to not feel like I have to figure out how to, because I need to buy another capture card because my camera is going through capture card, so I have to get a second one, and I don't want to. I could always stream off the like GameCube or something, but we have the same Switch Lite. Yeah, I love the teal one. It's really cute. It's so cute. You're cute. It's just a fact that everyone in my chats, if you don't get banned within 5 seconds, like those two dudes the other day, but all of my regular chatters are cute. All of them are cute and adorable and lovely and wonderful, and you all should feel appreciated because you're awesome. And I feel really lucky that honestly my chat has been pretty wonderful. Yeah! Love you guys. They're coming out with a Nintendo Switch Pro, so the regular one might go down. Maybe. All of the hearts. All of the heart cats. Kitties. All of the love. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna stream next because it depends on how much my second dose makes me feel shitty. It might not.
I'm really hoping it doesn't make me feel too bad. So as long as I can still do Phasmo on Saturday with Salt. Again, reminder to anyone who doesn't know, I feel like everyone in chat probably does. But I am doing I'm gonna be part of Salt's 24-hour charity live stream tomorrow, not tomorrow, Saturday, starting at noon, Toronto time on Saturday, supporting the Indigenous Harm Reduction Network, I think, here in Toronto. And I will be playing Phasmophobia at like 8 or 9 p.m. It's kind of up in the air because everything's weird in long streams like that. And then also, there's a bunch of prizes and things and raffles and things you can earn by donating. And one of those prizes is a signed print of one of my photos. And it'll be the first one ever. You will be the only person to have a signed print of me. I've never done that before. I am really excited to figure out how to do that. And it's any safe for work publicly posted photo. So like any photo that you can see on my social medias, I will get you a high quality version of that, print it out, sign it, send it to you, and it will be a fun time. I figured I'd leave it open because some people like certain cosplays or like my goth stuff or my rope stuff. And like rope is still, I consider that safe for work as long as I'm not like fucking butt naked. And the only reason I'm doing safe for work is because Salt Stream has minors in it and I'm not sending naked photos of myself to under 18s. That is not a thing that's happening. So safe for work. I suppose if you're one of my patrons or like on my OnlyFans, I could maybe do an NSFW version, but like if I don't personally know that you're over 18, I'm not sending you not safe for work stuff. But yeah. Also, I think it's hard to print not safe for work stuff at like Staples. So safe for work just makes it easier. But yeah. Hype! I'm so excited. It's gonna be a fun stream. It's gonna be me, Salt, Mara Dine, most of you know, and another guy named DZPG, who is another streamer who is rad. I've heard great things about him. I've never seen any of his streams just because they're always on when I am sleeping or waking up and not on my computer. Chell cosplay was incredible. Thank you. Yeah, it's my BRB screen, I think. No, it's my starting student screen. That one. That's my Chell cosplay. You don't watch DZ often, but I've made his Plugbot emote, so we have that. Yeah, you're awesome and the greatest, and people should support you and your art because you're dope. Portal gun is also really good. I didn't make that. I will admit I bought that. That's official Portal merch. I got that when they first came out. They were like limited edition, so I bought that. But I made the jumpsuit. The socks are also official merch. The boots are like my demonias. But I did makeup, like the companion cube I bought. But I did, when I first made that cosplay, it was before Portal 2 came out. So I made the jumpsuit and then I made like the like leg springs. So, too positive, no you. So what I had is I had like a tensor bandage that went like here, that had the designs all like drawn on it. And then in the back of my behind my knee, like in the tensor bandage, I put a rubber fly swatter that I had curled with a curling iron and wrapped in black electrical tape, so it looked like the little like thingy that Chell has. I don't have my Chell figures in the other room, whatever. But it worked surprisingly well and only cost like $20. Long pole boots make less sense than a portal gun. I mean, it would work to a degree. I mean, the actual spring thing, that does exist. It doesn't help with falls, but it does make, it's a prosthetic that, they're called cheetah legs, and they help amputees run super fucking fast. There's a reason, like the Paralympic sprinting record is much higher than the regular Olympic record, because prosthetic legs can be much better optimized for sprinting. But yeah, like things that stop you from getting fall damage, it would have to be like an actual like spring. I think the jumpy stilts could help to like a certain distance, but like if you fell at terminal velocity, I don't care what's attached to your legs, your entire leg is shattered. There's no way anyone could survive some of those falls. Or like always land on your feet even though you're being flung in random. There's no way. There's no way that that works like that. No way at all. Salt does not appear to be going live, so I'm gonna raid someone else in the meantime because I gotta go get food. And I believe he may have accidentally fallen asleep because at least we have wormholes for portals, but long fall boots, no. Yeah, we don't have anything like that could stop you from experiencing fall damage. But yeah, Polymune is love. Polymune? I don't know what that means. But anything with poly in it probably is great. But yeah, I think Salt may be asleep. Is maybe my assumption. Because he's... Oh, Polymune is live? I do not know who that is. I don't think I've seen them. I do have a friend of mine who just went live though, who is lovely and wonderful and does not have, I think only has 4 viewers right now, so we could definitely make their day. So yeah, I'm gonna raid my friend Purr. Purr is great. Maybe Moderna hit him hard? Yeah, I think that's probably what happened. Because he was also texting me like 2 something in the morning last night. So he definitely was, and then I asked him if he was feeling better earlier today, like around noon, and he said yeah, but I think he might have fallen asleep. And I don't think he's gonna go live at like 9 or 10 because he doesn't stream that late. But yeah, so I'm gonna raid my good friend. Raid. Purr is fantastic. Poor Salt, he needs rest. Yeah, we'll just let him sleep. Sleep it off. Sleepy peepee. But yeah, he's a good bean. But yeah, we're gonna go raid Purblind, so stay in chat. And say hi for me. Purr is fantastic and lovely. And is a sweetheart. And also does like modeling stuff and is great. So yeah. Have a good one. Thank you so much for stopping by. I will figure out something to play instead of DDLC. I mean, we still have Talos Principle to beat, so maybe I'll focus on that for a bit. But I like to have... Talos is going to take a while, so I'm going to try and see if I can have, like, a thing to switch between. But yeah, have a good one, and I will see you maybe next week if I don't feel awful. See you later.